I spent Christmas Eve in jail because I tried to prank my brother by filling his car with balloons, but he showed up late because he had just proposed. My brother Jake and I always did dumb pranks on each other. Last Christmas, he put plastic wrap over my toilet seat. I fell for it completely, so I was planning the perfect revenge for months. I knew Jake would be coming over Christmas Eve morning to help Mom with cooking. He always parked in the same spot in our driveway. My plan was simple but genius. Fill his entire car with balloons through the slightly opened window. I bought 12 bags of balloons and spent 2 hours the night before blowing them up with this little electric pump I borrowed from my neighbor. Christmas Eve morning, I got up at 6 a.m. while everyone was still asleep. I snuck outside with garbage bags full of balloons. Jake's Honda was sitting there like always. I managed to squeeze the window down just enough to start shoving balloons inside. It took me almost an hour, but I got probably 300 balloons crammed in there. You couldn't even see the seats anymore. I was so proud of myself. I kept checking my phone, waiting for Jake to show up at his usual time around 9 a.m. But 9 came and went, then 10, then 11. I started getting worried something happened to him. Around noon, I saw a police car pull up outside our house. My heart dropped. 2 cops got out and walked to our front door. I watched through the kitchen window as Mom opened the door and started talking to them. Then she pointed toward the driveway. The cops walked over to Jake's car and immediately started taking pictures. One of them called something in on his radio. That's when I realized how bad this looked. A car completely stuffed with balloons in someone's driveway probably seemed really suspicious. Before I could think of what to do, the cops were knocking on our door again. Mom called me over. The officer asked if I knew anything about the car. I tried to play dumb, but Mom gave me this look that said she already knew. The cop said they'd gotten a call about suspicious activity and possible vandalism. He asked me to step outside. That's when I noticed our neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, standing on her porch with her arms crossed, staring at me. She'd obviously been the one who called. The officer started asking me questions about what I was doing that morning. I tried explaining it was just a harmless prank on my brother, but apparently filling someone's car with balloons without permission counts as criminal mischief. Who knew? They ended up arresting me right there in front of our house on Christmas Eve. Mom was crying. Dad came running outside in his bathrobe asking what was happening. The neighbors were all standing on their porches watching me get put in handcuffs. The worst part was Jake still hadn't shown up. I kept asking the cops to just wait for him to get here so he could explain I was his brother, but they said it didn't matter. I'd still technically damaged someone else's property. I spent 8 hours in a holding cell with this guy who got arrested for trying to return a stolen Santa decoration to the wrong house. At least I wasn't the only one having a weird Christmas. Jake finally showed up at the station around 8 p.m. with Mom and Dad, but instead of looking mad, he was grinning like an idiot and kept showing everyone this ring box. Turns out he'd driven to his girlfriend Emma's house that morning to propose. She said yes, and then her whole family insisted they celebrate with this huge breakfast that went on for hours. His phone died, so he had no idea about the balloons or the cops or anything. When Jake saw the pictures the police took of his car, he started laughing so hard he couldn't breathe. He told the officers it was definitely just a sibling prank, and he wasn't pressing charges. They let me go with a warning.